especially if we're going to have more than one developer working on the same project. They're going to be familiar with this library, this tool, which eventually is going to speed up. So the thing, what I want to drive home is, if you're the tech lead, when you have time, you're going to start thinking about how to improve the development speed of your team. So to me, one of it is to create a library like this to release things fast. And I would like to highlight this particular company. It's just like us, it's a development agency, and look at the number of libraries they have. So I'll be using this library for your own purpose. And they can therefore probably come up with a lot of apps that are nice looking and do it quickly because they have this kind of tools in place.
I am recording what
it also helps to promote the tech quality of this company. So I think we can go there. This is one of the directions that I will work towards. I thought the tech. This kind of thing, you need time. So you really have to not work on projects and start working on this kind of stuff. So as the tech lead is going to be very, very different from a developer. We're not going to work on projects. We're going to work on things that helps projects turn out fast and quick and good. Then reading meetings, I don't know, you have to check meetings with your own developer, otherwise you lose touch. So maybe the thing about tech lead, a lot of it it's going to be less coding, it's a lot more about managing humans, kind of stuff. So I'll just summarize now. So basically, this proposal that I have, the downside is that it seems like you're going to lose one more pair of hands to call up one more project. But I think that if done right, my contribution as a tech lead to the company will increase over time because current structure, if it's like, for current structure, it's going to be like, I can put in 8 hours to the company every day. 10 months later, it's still going to be 38 hours. But if I do it as a tech lead, I'm going to contribute 8 hours now, or maybe less because, I'm going to contribute 8 hours now, and then maybe 2 months later it's going to 16, and then exponentially increase to 32, 64 hours. Why? Because my knowledge and my efforts in trying to streamline, improve the efficiency of the development work in Polygo is going to have a ripple effect on the other developers, and they're going to grow as well. So the whole team is going to grow fast. So it's like now, and we're going to sell more things together because there's more and more people doing it. So I can see my contribution. So with this new my proposal, theoretically, it will improve my contribution, make my contribution improve exponentially rather than linearly in the company. Then on top of that, I can actually then hire junior developers. Because currently the hiring efforts that the management is doing, right, what I see is you are trying to hire good developers. But think about it, there's no platoon where there's overall sergeants. There has to be certain, because if you have a platoon with 4 sergeants, it's going to be so expensive. But if you have a platoon of sergeants, big men, then as time passes, it's going to grow. All the men are going to be sergeants, all the sergeants are going to be officers level, that kind of stuff. Then it's going to help in the long run the company work on things faster. And junior developers are also easier to hire. I think it's cheaper and they are much easier to train to get them to learn our way of coding and stuff. Better than a mid-level developer. It's going to be hard to change a mid-level developer who week 1. So it has benefits to this proposal. And for the lead, if you're going to be a lead, the main thing is you're going to be in control of your department or whoever's under you. You're going to continue to improve the standard. So whatever I propose, it might not be the best, but along the way, you're going to improve and make sure the thing will benefit the company in the long run. So these are the stuff that tech leads are going to invest their time into, and not to create on one project which is just going to make that project very good. But subsequent projects, nothing might happen. It's still going to be bad. Yeah, and well, yeah, the main thing is just to release technical debt. And then to the developers who are not the leads, they can learn from code reviews and then grow along the way. And of course, they can challenge the standard, make changes. And then it's our role as a tech lead to identify which developers can come up with a better solution and then decide whether that should be the new standard or not. And that new standard is, the main thing is whether it will improve the development, things like that. Okay, so lastly, whatever I say is actually very theoretical, definitely not the right answer, and it's meant to be continually improved on. So this is my proposal. Right now, I would like to ask about your opinions of how things work. So basically, like, should we even, so my proposal is hierarchy, right? We have leads, right? But is this even good? Do you think that we should have a lead? Or do you have some other ways? What do you think? Then also, whatever I did, right, it's just on the assumption that you are all in one office. But now we have offices in different regions, so how things work. I definitely need your opinions. I think Pi has its own system in place. I'd like to hear how it works. And then, yeah, so does it make sense to have a lead in each office, or is it one office for all the regions, this kind of stuff? And then lastly, you see lead, right? It's not exactly a coder already, right? So you're going to do a bit more of management. I think the lead should be doing more of your management, which means that the developer, you might not be the best developer, but you are damn good at managing, right? So do you want to be a coder or do you want to be a lead? So yeah, so like final boss, I mean, I need to think this. So yeah, so personally, do you want to be a lead or not? Yeah, so I'll just start with myself. So I personally want to be a lead because I want to be very involved in the new technologies. So those who don't know me, I came here in Codillo as an intern for IMS. 27 years old, I came here as an intern. So I have already 2-3 years experience in full stack, but I came here as an intern to learn about mobile applications because I was very desperate to know how mobile applications work. I only work with web and the full stack on the website only. So this character still hasn't changed. I still want to work towards that. I'm not ready to be a lead yet, so so I don't really want to be a lead in this area. So yeah, I'd like to hear your opinions. I mean, maybe whether this, maybe what are your thoughts of changing the way you assign resources? Yeah. Thank you. So maybe you can start with how are you managing?
Sorry, wait. So Grandpa passed on, so he actually flew back last night. But anyway, I recorded your whole presso. I'm gonna get him to watch the video and also to get back to us. We can always get back together once the whole team is back in Myanmar. But Tiha is here now, so maybe he can share his thoughts first. Yes. Tiha, you come closer a bit to the speaker there. Yeah.
So maybe you can share with us the kind of structure that Myanmar is having, because it's very different.
Yeah. So
it's something like what Peter is saying about the lead level, because from what I'm seeing, Pi seems to be doing that, and you are also doing that.
Yeah.
So for different branches. So maybe you can share with Peter how it's done.
Should we even have the of course. Because what I have seen at the Sky Premiere, the lead was definitely needed because we can't move on with the since we only have one experience and one mid-range level, so lead was definitely needed to guide them, to manage them. Yeah. So for other platforms like Android, they should have lead too, because if a lead is, one lead is handling 2 projects, so I think that is enough for now. Because even he has his own project to move on. Okay. So I think we should have leave for every platform.
So one more thing is just now prior to all of us coming in, I actually already spoke with Pai yesterday and also to Tiha this morning, but I don't know yet. Now that Victor has this question, is do you want to be a lead or do you prefer to code? So for Tiha, your case is you got to think about that part also, right? But what we want from Tiha's side is, it's very clear now what we want Pai. Pai is going to break into concentrating on the AI part of the business. So he's going to run the AI team fully very soon. So he's going to break apart from Codigo Myanmar and fully run the AI team to build all the AI stuff. Still part of Codigo lah, right? Then we're going to also do the developer on demand, the fetch thing, that we're going to look into that. But what Tiha's biggest role will be is actually Tiha will be taking care of the whole Codigo Myanmar. What we would like to have is under Tiha to have 5 iOS, 5 Android minimally, and at least 2 very good .NET also. That is the plan for now. Right? We haven't even reached that headcount yet. But ultimately, I see your role as a little bit of what Victor is describing.
Actually, I was leading the whole team. Every week I have done. For Android, I will not done the code management, code review because I think this is the thing that the senior guys needs to do. So I don't have to review the code. Okay. But for the iOS, senior guy I was one of them. So I review all of them. Every single week. So for Android, I told the senior guys should review every code, and even that reported to me who is good, who is doing good, who is doing some little bad. So the idea was if we got those reports, we need to know we will know that how to improve them. That's the hardest thing to do because improving someone else is the biggest challenge.
Correct. So would you see yourself exactly what Victor just described? Lead. And if that is the case, because you are very good at iOS, does that mean that I have to find a similar person who is Android or Domain?
No, because he will be the
overall
role. So he needs to delegate his iOS duties out to a more senior person who's taking on the iOS portion of it.
So overall, you'll be looking. Ultimately, what we're doing is Pai is actually going to look after another part of business already. So he's no longer going to be as involved in Codigo. I mean, we're going to rename the company as some other things as well as the.
Actually, I was also reviewing the Android. Except I also studied that. But most cases are assigned to the CPO level. Because and he put it back to me. That's how the process goes.
And this is what you want, right? Okay, good. So at least on Myanmar side, we kind of settle a few things. It's just that we need to grow those missing headcounts. And Pai and Tiha also started the academy. I think you all run a few classes already. Through the academy to find good people there as well. And then one of the newer things that we are looking now is to do the fetch model, where we will basically house developers under our office, and in future, if we can find a bigger premise, and then startups and companies who are unable to find skilled developers will hire through us. We will house the developers in our building, but everything yourself you take care of. All we are doing is we are taking a fee per headcount, and all Tiha and Pai and whoever does is to make sure the team is working happily there, all the pantry is stocked up, they organize fun things for them to do and whatever.
Actually, what I have doing now was, since we are on low resource right now, for iOS I do the management, for Android I also do the management, but if we have like Adria suggested, for example, 5
Five,
iOS,
five.
5 Android,
Mm.
yeah. So I will assign one of the 5. Let's say we have got one senior developer on each side, okay?
Mhm.
So each senior developer will be leading the whole 5 team.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Mhm.
So then every
Oh.
week, yeah, they should report it back to me.
Mm.
So I will discuss, manage,
Mm.
and think how to improve
Mm.
all the remaining 4.
Will that iOS and Android be coding as well? Or
Yeah, they will be coding,
I
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just need to manage their,
So you
Team.
fully off coding, but you managing the team only,
yeah,
looking after the whole thing, making sure that they are
yeah.
there.
Every morning I've used about 4 hours to do the management thing.
I see.
Then I do the coding later.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
That's how I done. Yeah.
Victor, you heard?
Yeah, very different. So like I'm also part of the iOS account sort of, right? So do I need to go through you?
Oh no. Victor, you are special on your alone.
Alone, Victor, you are alone.
What we are saying is the Myanmar team for now. The 5 under Tiha is actually Myanmar team for iOS and then 5 Android.
So that means totally separate, right? Like the office we don't have like one for all.
No.
This kind of thing, right?
We will still have, but that one I think is pending further discussion on how then the satellite officers can work together. But at least what I want to do now is to settle each of the country so that we know the structure. And the Myanmar one is going to be really closely resembling what you're suggesting in this slides. So we want to do the same for Singapore, and then as well as for yourself, and also for Eric Tong. But what we haven't discussed yet is then all the officers in different countries and how to report to one person, or how to that part we haven't discussed yet. But I don't know if we have given answers for now. But at least we start at the root level and get the individual country one in this format first, right?
Yeah. I also want to know how what's the different, what do you call it, coding practices between different countries.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
that one I need you all to guide already. What you all think will be?
Okay, so one of the things I feel like this structure has, the key issue I feel is because people are of different regions. Our projects are currently mainly in Singapore region. For me, I felt that Sky Premium, right, putting me in the middle was causing a lot more barrier, I feel. Because, okay, when you put someone in between to translate a project work scope to another team that is not in Singapore, you're putting him as a barrier because he can understand 100% of the specification, but he can only, at the end of the day, right, there's communication in between. He will miss out something. You're all human. So you'll miss out like 20%. And that 20% will be a lot of the things that will keep going back and forth. It will be very, very inefficient. So my problem with this structure, right, is because of the nature of where our projects are based, and that's in Singapore. So how do we mitigate this? Yeah, I mean, like, correct. Exactly like Sky Premium situation when I'm in between. I feel like, although I'm helping out by understanding the requirements and telling PR to do, I'm also at the same time a barrier. It's a double-edged sword. And like global was significantly smaller scope, so it was a lot more smoother to directly communicate. But in that sense, then it kind of defies that kind of lead logic. Would that kind of communication be, let's say if you have a client in Singapore, we will directly, and we are going to have the lead in the team that's in Myanmar doing it, they're going to directly communicate with that lead. I think that would make a lot more sense.
So what you're saying is for Sky Premium, to do it a little bit like Global Org, where Jeff is speaking directly to MuleSoft.
Correct. So it's kind of like, although I don't know business sense wise, right, but it's kind of like you need to review that, clients very early on that hey, my team is in Myanmar, so we are going to have a direct communication instead because it's going through too many layers.
Yeah, it's the same like for Global All. In the end, we decided that it's best for Jeff to talk directly rather than have so many layers due to the timeline. And it actually proved that it works well, right? For Global All.
There is a flaw in this process because if the senior dev, right, that is championing that project with the client, is not fully aware of the scope, and the client starts throwing in things like what is not.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So that is something. I mean, at the end of the day, when there's any discussion, the PMs and the business owner of that project will still be involved anyway.
Right.
To always tell. But that's why nowadays, for a lot of the PMs, and I mean, PMs now know the scope very well. So you know what TT is trying to say is, if that is the way, right, Jeff potentially, if he wants, could squeeze in new scope of work, bypassing him, bypassing me. So he's just asking how can we stop that. Yeah, so that one, a good thing to bring up, we need to think about. Yeah, I mean constantly monitoring. I'm pretty sure the developers will come back to us because if it's going to squeeze something new, there might be a new need for screens, there might be new API needed and all that, we would be alerted. But I think the only thing is to stay on top of things, whatever channels they are using to talk to client, and whenever there's a discussion, you just sit there and listen only. You don't have to do much, but listen. At least by listening, you know if they're going to squeeze in extra things or not.
I think that the tech lead is more of overseeing the high level stuff. So like the scope and then architecture. So that will be the tech lead stuff. But for the rest of the developer, they will be looking into the details, like how everything is run. The tech lead will support. We will play a supportive role to do code reviews to make sure everything is set.
Code review will be more of the senior level. So it's actually it depends on what you want to call it, but there are actually about 3 or 4 tiers. Then the ones on top of, let's say, the iOS will be doing the review of the iOS.
Basically, someone on top.
I think, a code review, it should be done on the senior level, correct?
You start adopting that kind of code review habits.
The touch lead just need to guide them the proper way to the senior. So the senior level can guide their junior level of experience. That should be it.
I mean, then eventually the junior will become better and they will start becoming a senior when you're very familiar with everything. So, I mean, that's in a way of how I see every company trains engineers. Every product-based company, every proper consultancy that does this kind of structure, they do it this way because it's easier to keep hiring new, fresh people. You will always want to run into turnover issues. So that's something that the tech lead will help to mitigate because it will help to keep engaged your engineers that's below engaged, get them better. When people are getting better, right, and they are enjoying what they do, they have a tendency to not leave so often. And your tech lead will be able to advise you on whether there's a possibility of a risk of turnover, and then you can fully cater for that by hiring more people already.
Okay.
So that's that. The other observation I want to talk about is while Victor was saying your tech lead will be like overseeing a lot of projects. From what I don't know, maybe Dia will have more better experience, but from what I'm seeing of Sky Premium, right, even Sky Premium would have taken up easily 50% of my time. So if you're going to talk about that kind of project handling level, right, so you still have ultimately, you talk about maybe one main person that knows every kind of structure of the whole engineering team. That's like the CTO or VP engineering role. But if you go down further below, right, then maybe you need more people to handle multiple different projects. And at the same time, below that, right, you're talking about individual iOS leads and Android leads or senior devs in that sense. So how do you want to work out this structure? I think it's quite important. Because if you're gonna throw the main guy into every project, he's gonna die straight away. 2 projects is gonna kill you.
I expect it.
No, my idea of tech lead is to set the structure only. The project nature, how the project should work.
I think it's
It's still at the PM side. the tech lead is just to make sure that the below developer must code according to this way, according to this structure that I set it up for you. You don't do it differently.
Correct. So the tech lead should not be coding already.
Yeah, the tech lead is not coding lah. That's the whole point of Victor, which is the correct part. But the Victor, there's one part that is saying about FSD, all this. That I don't think that is correct for the tech lead to do. The tech lead will waste more time. Should waste more time on the code review, setting out the architecture, all this kind of thing.
Okay, regarding that, I want to use Siemens as an example. So, Siemens what happened was, there was a request that came in, and it looks very simple. So it's like another checkbox, but eventually that extra checkbox, right, changed so much in the whole structure that shouldn't have been allowed in the first place. I don't know how that happened. So I thought I thought someone who is in charge of the whole structure of the project, if he were to be there at the client asks new requirements, he is able to give a better understanding. So that's why I thought he should be a bit more involved in those stuff. But yeah, what you say about what you guys mentioned about the tech lead, a lot of work, right? I agree. So I also don't know whether that's the right answer or not. Yeah.
Actually, Siemens, I think it's a very bad example because for a lot of the projects, especially all recent one, I also told Han already, is we got to write out the full requirements document right from the very start and get the client to sign off. So in this requirement doc, a bit like BAF, when I did BAF is I will write, even the business rules are there already. It's like Valet app must have sign in, sign up, forget password. When it comes to sign up, the few methods available are Facebook, Twitter, or Google and email. And if you use email, there must be an OTP. Basically, we write everything out, exactly how the app will perform, even to the point of someone, when they book, they can cancel within 2 minutes, there will not be penalty. If a ride has been paired, and then the driver has already indicated they have departed and they cancel, there will be a 50%. Actually, we wrote all this now. So these are the ones that we are. So for Siemens, you know what's the biggest issue? It's a little bit like ST-Log. Siemens supposed to have all this one. I just don't know why it didn't happen and why wasn't it written down when, it's as simple as that. I don't want to, whatever it is, it's been passed, but the original process was always meant to be somebody's phone. Oh yeah, okay, never mind. The original process was always supposed to do that. So for a lot of the newer projects that we are doing, we are following that method now, and I'm also asking Han, you need to do that because that is gonna save us in future when they're gonna stick in new things. So for Siemens, it's one of those. I think again the client say we got a deadline to meet. Let's just dive into it, and we will change along the way. We don't allow all this anymore lah. So we learn from a few projects, we learn from a few examples that no matter how, at the end of the day, as much as the client is the one who insisted they want to do it this way, at the end, when things don't turn out, they will still blame us. So we are still always going to be the party that loses at the end of the day, as much as they know that they are the one who insisted. So like for Ready to Travel, me and Regina, we also insisted that there's no way we can do it in October. So we decided to just put in a UI/UX proposal and to at least to entice and show them that we can do it. Now we're negotiating, they're going to give us a long timeline, plus the fact that we can pull in a backend partner instead of us doing it. And at the end of the day, they allow us to do all this. So nowadays we're going to be a little bit more stern in terms of laying our rules as well. I know you have your CEO to answer to, but we also have our own. We know it's not going to work. So we're going to do things properly from the FSD side of things, the requirement document side of things as well, to kick off for every project. Okay, so that one will also save a lot of people a lot of problems, especially for Siemens and all that, because all this, at the end of the day, if you think about it, the root cause is because the original business flow, process flow wasn't talked about, wasn't nailed down, wasn't locked in. Okay?
Do you have any, when knocking those things down, do you have any difficulties in terms of tech?
For me, no, because I'm only drafting how it should work, the business rules and all that. I actually don't even need to think tech if you're talking about how to pair a ride and all that, right? But of course, when it comes to new tech such as AR, VR, all that, I wouldn't be able to do all this drafting, and that's where I will involve the tech people. But when you're talking about if I were to press search for driver, I will search 3 kilometers around where the parcel is going to pick up. That part I don't need to ask tech lah, because that one, all these are business rules.
Yeah, but no offense, Adrian. But sometimes, right, there were 1 or 2 cases where you would think that it's very easy to do, right? But because of how the app is already being built, right?
Oh no,
it's actually very hard.
Correct. What I'm saying now is right from the start.
Correct, right? But
correct.
What I'm trying to say is, do be careful. There are times where I feel that you would think that something is very easy, but it's actually not so straightforward.
Correct. So now what we're doing is, what I'm saying is, we're starting from a clean slate. It's because a lot of times the proper business rule hasn't been laid out from the start, and that's why halfway, when say for a Siemens site, they throw in all the weird things. And that is because, again, it boils down to the fact that the original requirements doc, the business rule, wasn't nailed down before anything starts. And because we gave... Yeah.
Sorry, I understand what you mean, but I believe what Jenny is saying, and it's me, is like, so the business requirements say to search for something, right? You never talk about how fast search to be, and then that kind of stuff, optimization part. So yeah, like all things might seem like forward, but it's not only business requirements about.
Actually, Victor, nowadays what we want to do is, after we finish the original requirements doc, that we will actually let the tech lead read through also. But what I'm saying is the tech lead don't need to write it first. We will do all the writing, and that's once we kind of nail down all the business rule, that's where you come in to read. Because I feel that one is easier for you. You don't have to spend time writing. You don't have to spend time sitting with the client.
Yes.
So it's more like I will go through with client. Hey, after 30 minutes, you cancel out. Faster say $3 or $5. Tell me. Or you want dynamic? You want dynamic? You have to say down. If not, I'm not going to build dynamic settings in your backend. So this one, the PM and the business lead, as in the business owner, will have to do this part. But you all only read it once the draft is almost complete. And then you'll give your input. Hey, this one not so easy, and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. I want to share something maybe in some other session, but it's regarding this point. So just take note of this point. I'll think about it next time we do the sharing session. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Tell the rest go eat first. I think it's gonna take a while. Tell the rest. Or whoever. Because it's supposed to be 12 o'clock for the sharing ma. Tell them go eat lah. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Victor, you can continue.
Oh yeah. So I have a sharing session. It's regarding this point about reading through or whatever. Because like people have different expectations and stuff. So if I say I want a chat system, I can build a chat system, but it's going to be slow. It's going to require some stuff, and it might not work as good. And this kind of stuff doesn't. You need some time to go and build it, and so basically different expectations and stuff. I'll just remember this point when I do my sharing session next time. We will talk about it more.
Sure. So now also, what I'm asking the team who are drafting all this to do is to be much more specific. When I talk about every element, if we were to talk about chat, now for Furama, we will put there as, we'll put Zendesk. We'll put very specific what are we using and what type of technology. Are we building it or are we not building it? And it's no longer just a chat. So that is also one thing that we are putting on our plate. That's why nowadays we take a long time to draft quotations, because we kind of put everything in there. We kind of already draft the upcoming requirements.
Yes, I also, yes, you remember about one point, because I remember like we lost some quotations because of cost issues. So if the clients are going to another developer, another agency, I don't know how to let him know that he might lose out this. take for granted for other agencies, that kind of stuff?
This one we have no control lah. A lot of times we just have to be very specific with our quotation. If they choose to just take wholesale what we produce and go to someone else. And also for me and Han, usually we don't produce that level of quotation until we know it's quite near. Yeah, before locking it down. But the truth is there's no, it is a bit like government tender, MRT tender, your HDB tender. You have to put everything out there and let people choose. And there's always a chance where they can miss. Yeah, correct. That one I can't do anything lah. Yeah. So yeah, that one I really have don't know how because people have the right to take not that they have the right to steal, but they can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Victor, so I think should we then do a next step, which is to think about how we want to structure the different countries, like individually, like Singapore, what is Adrian's expectation of how many developers we have here, and what are the minimum viable structure that we can go for. And Myanmar side, I think you guys maybe can draw what is the structure that you have now, and maybe what is the ideal structure that you're going to go for. Then from that, if we do scale beyond that, right, then how is it going to be like? So I think that will be a good next step to look at, so that we at least head towards a more structured approach.
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, on Singapore side, we are also locking things down. We're pending further discussion. But for now, for a start, what we are hoping to do is to at least get the team here to the kind of engineering level that we already have, or we want, basically, as simple as that. So we are still looking for people lah. That one, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Then I mean, the whole idea is we have that structure, right? Then we know exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And then you can start filling up based on that, and start training people to reach to the next point. Also.
Hiring people is difficult.
Hiring people. I put ads everywhere. I think I already I polluted a lot of people's by constant blast. But
hiring people, really difficult.
Correct.
Yeah. It's hard to find the good people.
There's a lot. But yeah. So at least okay. I recorded everything anyway. I'm gonna let Pai, Eric Dong, Regina Han listen to this, so that then they can add their contributions as well. Yeah, but Victor definitely a good share, and definitely something that we have been in discussion with also with Pai, because I think Pai and Piha, given the fact that they are coders, they are able to understand better than what me, Regina, or Han can understand, and that's why on Pai and Piha side, the kind of the structure, it's already a little bit mirroring what Victor has suggested already, and this is just something that we need to do here as well. Victor, got any more things? I will regroup with Regina, Han and all that to give them a summary of what was discussed today, so that at least they can also contribute and give inputs if they have any. Yeah.
Do we have time for iOS session after this, after lunch or what? Victor, will you be free later on in the day?
Till what time?
Okay, whatever it is, the whole Myanmar team needs to leave by 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So we only have 3.5 hours only. So I will probably all go down, tapao, quick lunch, and then we can resume the session.
Terence, that's Android, right?
Yeah. iOS also has to.
Yeah, we can do during that session, during that time.
This will be very long. This will be very long.
No. Oh, you mean that thing will be very long? But it's for every developer or just Android? No, then I only need iOS people.
I mean, you all can run separately, but iOS run iOS, Android run Android, and then 4 o'clock all go airport.
Victor, are you comfortable with 1:30? I think we're not going to talk about the whole, but it's more of key things that we want to standardize across iOS. I don't, to be honest, I'm not going to talk about enforcing MVVM or MVC. They are both fine. It's more about the small nitty gritty stuff like, like the storyboard laying out, etc.
Okay, shall we do that?
1:30 is it?
Yeah, just grab a quick lunch and then we break into the tool. I probably will do away the sharing session for now. I think we are a little bit short of time today because of the rushing to the airport. Yeah, this whole trip a bit rushed, but never mind. Next time we will have a longer one. Yeah, yeah, because it happened to fall between the holiday and all that. Yeah. Okay, Ken.
Thank you.
Okay, and thanks.
Thank you.